Consider a sudden, strange tingling sensation upon waking. What if that feeling signified the dawn of a new human ability, the power to manipulate electricity with thought alone? How drastically would our world and our very nature transform if we could wield the raw force of lightning through mental focus? Suppose one morning an unusual energy pulsed within you. The human brain already functions through electrochemical signals. Neurons communicate via the movement of ions, generating minute electrical currents crucial for all biological processes, from muscle contraction to sensory perception and complex thought. Presently, these currents remain contained within our intricate nervous system, orchestrating all our cognitive and physical processes with remarkable precision, albeit at a very low energy scale. But what if, through an unforeseen evolutionary advancement, perhaps driven by an environmental trigger, or a spontaneous genetic mutation, or a yet-to-be-discovered biological mechanism involving novel cellular structures and biochemical pathways, the human brain evolved the capacity to amplify and project these internal electrical fields externally with significant power and control? Envision specialized cells within the brain, far exceeding our current estimated 86 billion neurons in number and exhibiting a unique morphology optimized for energy storage and release. These cells, which we can term electrocapacitors, could function as biological storage units for electrical energy derived from highly efficient metabolic processes, perhaps involving specialized mitochondria, like organelles capable of converting chemical energy into bioelectrical potential with unprecedented efficiency. Perhaps these electrocapacitors are interconnected by a complex and highly organized network of bioconductive pathways composed of novel protein structures and ion channels, enabling the directed flow and manipulation of this energy with minimal loss. The method for projecting this energy might involve specialized organs located near the skin surface, or even modified skin cells acting as highly efficient emitters. These emitters could possess a complex microstructure capable of focusing and directing electromagnetic fields, and the ability to modulate the frequency, voltage, and current of the emitted electricity through focused mental intent, perhaps by controlling the rhythmic firing of specific neural circuits. Think of it akin to flexing a muscle, where the brain sends signals to contract muscle fibers. In this case, the brain would send highly specific electrochemical signals to the electrocapacitors and emitters, precisely shaping the outgoing electromagnetic field. Scientists in 2025 are actively investigating bioelectricity and its role in healing processes, such as nerve regeneration and wound healing, and in communication within biological systems at the cellular and organismal levels. This hypothetical capability would represent an extraordinary leap in our comprehension and utilization of this fundamental force, moving beyond passive observation to active manipulation. It would necessitate a complete reassessment of our understanding of consciousness and its potential interaction with the physical realm at a fundamental level. Could concentrated thought patterns, perhaps involving specific brainwave frequencies or neural synchronicity, directly influence the movement of electrons in the external environment? This question pushes the limits of contemporary scientific knowledge and delves into the very nature of consciousness and its connection to the physical world. Initially, the discovery would likely occur by chance. Consider an individual experiencing a moment of intense emotion, perhaps anger or extreme concentration, and suddenly a nearby light flickers or a small electronic device malfunctions. These isolated occurrences would be dismissed as coincidence until discernible patterns emerged. Individuals might report unusual sensations, such as a buzzing in their fingertips or a feeling of energy accumulating within them preceding these electrical anomalies. Subsequently, as the phenomenon becomes more widespread and subject to scientific scrutiny, specialized institutions would be established to study these electrokinetics. Researchers would endeavor to understand the biological basis of this ability, mapping the involved brain regions and analyzing the produced electromagnetic fields. Early experiments might involve individuals learning to consciously influence simple circuits, perhaps illuminating light-emitting diodes or rotating small motors. Next, the implications for technology would be revolutionary. The need for power cords and batteries could become obsolete. Devices could draw power directly from human thought. Consider charging your phone simply by holding it, or illuminating your home with a focused mental command. Transportation could undergo a radical transformation. Electric vehicles might draw power directly from the driver, or perhaps even levitate using controlled electromagnetic repulsion. Imagine personal vehicles capable of levitating several meters above the ground, propelled silently by controlled magnetic fields, reaching speeds of hundreds of kilometers per hour without the friction of tires. Furthermore, communication would evolve in unimaginable ways. Could thoughts themselves be transmitted as electrical signals, rendering language unnecessary? Consider a form of direct mental communication, a telepathic network powered by our own bioelectricity. This could dismantle communication barriers, but also raise profound questions regarding privacy and individual thought. Beyond that, the development of electrokinetic abilities would inevitably lead to a stratification of society. Those with a natural aptitude for controlling electricity would possess immense power, both literally and figuratively. This could foster new forms of social hierarchy, with conductors potentially holding influential positions in energy production, technology, and even defense. Massive power plants, relics of the 20th and early 21st centuries, could become obsolete. Instead, localized energy grids might be powered by networks of highly skilled electrokinetics, capable of generating megawatts of clean energy with their minds, enough to power entire cities spanning hundreds of square kilometers. Consider this. How would daily life change? Reflect on the potential for accidents. A sudden surge of emotion could lead to unintended electrical discharges. Safety protocols would need to be developed, perhaps involving mental discipline techniques, or even specialized shielding to prevent accidental energy release. Think about this. What about warfare? The capacity to unleash directed bursts of electricity would constitute a formidable weapon. Reflect on soldiers capable of firing lightning bolts or disabling enemy technology with a thought. This could fundamentally alter the nature of conflict and international relations. Contemplate soldiers capable of unleashing concentrated blasts of energy equivalent to several kilojoules of force, or creating electromagnetic pulses capable of disabling electronic infrastructure across vast distances of tens or even hundreds of kilometers. But what if this ability wasn't entirely novel? What if deep within our genetic code lay a dormant potential for electrokinesis, a vestige from a distant evolutionary epoch? Perhaps ancient myths and legends of deities wielding lightning and other elemental powers weren't entirely without basis. Could these narratives be echoes of a time when humans possessed this very ability, only for it to diminish over millennia? Furthermore, what if this ability wasn't solely a human phenomenon? Could other life forms on Earth, or even on other planets, possess similar or even more advanced forms of bioelectrical control? The discovery of human electrokinesis might unlock entirely new avenues for understanding the potential diversity of life in the universe. Reflect on the implications for our understanding of consciousness itself. If our thoughts can directly interact with the physical world through electromagnetic fields, does this suggest a deeper connection between mind and matter than we currently comprehend? Could consciousness be a fundamental force, akin to gravity or electromagnetism, capable of influencing reality in ways we are only beginning to perceive? The capacity to control electricity with our minds would initiate a profound transformation, reshaping our technology, our society, and even our self-perception. It would be a power of immense potential for both creation and destruction. Would humanity exhibit the responsibility required to wield such a fundamental force of nature? And ultimately, should this ability suddenly manifest, would it unite us in awe and wonder, or divide us in fear and the pursuit of control? Consider the static electricity experienced when touching a doorknob, amplified a millionfold and under conscious command. Reflect on the power of a lightning strike, but instead of a random discharge, it's a directed beam of energy emanating from your fingertips. Consider the intricate network of electrical signals within your brain, now capable of extending outwards, interacting with and manipulating the electromagnetic forces that govern our universe. It's like transitioning from a whisper to a shout through the very fabric of reality. Think of the sun with its immense electromagnetic field. Now consider that power, in a controlled and focused manner, originating from the human mind. Observe a person standing calmly, their eyes closed in concentration. A faint blue aura begins to emanate from their hands, intensifying as they focus. Small sparks crackle around their fingertips, growing into tendrils of pure energy that dance and writhe at their mental command. They point a finger, and a beam of light, brighter than any light-emitting diode, shoots forth, illuminating the darkness. Another individual, in a moment of rage, involuntarily emits a chaotic burst of electricity, causing nearby electronics to flicker and cease functioning. Envision a cityscape at night, not illuminated by traditional power grids, but by the soft, controlled glow emanating from the minds of its inhabitants. Visualize vehicles silently gliding through the air, propelled by controlled electromagnetic repulsion, leaving no exhaust fumes behind. Observe scientists in gleaming laboratories, their foreheads furrowed in concentration as they study the intricate bioconductive pathways within the brains of electrokinetics, holographic displays showcasing the complex electromagnetic fields they generate. Considering the profound implications, what single action do you believe you would prioritize if you suddenly discovered within yourself the nascent ability to consciously control electricity? How fundamentally might this extraordinary power alter the trajectory of your daily existence, from the mundane to the momentous? However, while an individual possessing electrokinetic abilities might subjectively perceive their power as an intrinsic extension of their own consciousness and will, a detached scientific observer meticulously studying the phenomenon with an array of sophisticated electromagnetic field sensors, high-speed cameras, and advanced diagnostic equipment would perceive a complex and dynamic interplay of precisely shaped energy fields, rapidly fluctuating frequencies, and meticulously controlled electrical discharges, all originating from within the biological structures of the individual. To the electrokinetic, the act of manipulating electricity might feel like a direct manifestation of thought and intention, an intuitive connection between mind and energy. Conversely, to the objective scientific observer, it represents a quantifiable and measurable physical phenomenon, a complex interaction of biological processes and electromagnetic forces adhering to the fundamental laws of physics, offering valuable insights into the potential interface between consciousness and the material world. Reflect on the contrasting viewpoints between someone effortlessly illuminating an entire room with a mere thought, experiencing a sense of seamless control, and a team of engineers and biologists painstakingly attempting to unravel the intricate biological and neurological mechanisms that underpin this extraordinary capability, seeking to understand the underlying science and potentially replicate or enhance it through technological means. If you found this electrifying exploration of a hypothetical human ability intellectually stimulating and visually engaging, be sure to subscribe to our channel for a continuous stream of more thought-provoking and mind-bending what-if scenarios exploring the fascinating frontiers of science and possibility.